chain smokers, how y'all feeling right now?
Like way smarter than us. I actually got rejected by Microsoft once.
Hey everyone, so it's now the last week of my internship, which means that I just have 5 days left. And I thought, well, since I have 5 days left, why don't I make 5 videos every day? No, 1 video every day to talk about my Microsoft internship experience. So it's like a personal challenge. Like I haven't been making videos recently, and yeah, I left my fancy camera at home, so hopefully the content of these videos will make up for the lack of quality. So what I hope that you guys will get from this is that for the people that are curious about what the software engineering internship is like at a big company like Microsoft, this will give you that information, I guess, and give you an idea of what it's like. For the people that are already starting to apply, because right now it's September and this is interview season, I hope that these videos will hopefully inspire you and encourage you to apply, especially to a Microsoft internship. And then for the people later on that are going to be getting Microsoft offers, I know if you get a Microsoft offer, you're probably good enough to get other offers as well, right? So I hope that this video series gives you an idea of what the Microsoft internship experience could be for you. And hopefully by telling you what I got out of it and what my day-to-day life was like, you can see if that's something that you want for your summer. Alright, so let's first talk about Microsoft as a company. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about Microsoft is how many different categories and products that they have. You know, like they have Bing, which is search, they have Xbox, which is gaming, they have Microsoft or Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge, which are browsers, they have Outlook, which is mail, they have OneDrive, which is like storage, they have OneNote, which is like a note-taking thing, and then they have like, you know, the list goes on. And if you think about it, if you ever get bored in a certain category or in a certain product, you can change products and you can change categories and you can change what you're working on without having to change companies. Okay, so Microsoft has 4 major engineering groups. You have AI and research, so that has like Bing and Cortana and Microsoft Research. Then you have Cloud and Enterprise, which has like Azure, .NET, Windows Server, Visual Studio. Then you have Windows Device Group, which is Microsoft Edge, HoloLens, you know, and then the Surface Books, the Windows operating system, Xbox, and yeah, then there's my group, which is, or the group that I'm part of, which is Office product group. So they have Office, OneNote, Outlook, OneDrive, Skype, and then there's actually a 5th group, LinkedIn, but I think LinkedIn is its own separate thing. So yeah, those are the 4 groups, and as you can tell, every group has a lot of categories, and even within those, or a lot of products, and even within those products, there are just so many teams with each product. So I think you'll never get bored at Microsoft. You'll always find interesting work. And if you ever feel stuck, you can always just switch teams or switch products or switch categories. So another really good thing about Microsoft is, in my opinion, it has a really beautiful campus. Like, if you just look around you, most of your vision is green. During the summers, the skies are blue. And I guess just like, there's so much to see that you can't see everything in one field of vision, meaning you have to like turn your head and look up and look down in order to see the big picture. The buildings are very nice. I can't really say that for the older buildings, but for the newer buildings, especially my building, we're building a freaking tree house, you know, it's like under construction, but the sad thing is I won't be able to see it before it's complete. But yeah, I mean, a tree house in your building, how cool is that? So yeah, another thing about Microsoft is that they're very big on work-life balance, which I think matters to a lot of people, right? They don't just see us as workers, they see us as people, and they recognize that we have our own lives and work isn't everything. Yeah, I would say that day-to-day life is pretty chill. I mean, obviously this depends on your team, but at least my team, I can come whenever I want, I can leave whenever I want, and I never felt stressed. I feel like with a lot of communication, my manager and my mentor let me know what they expected of me, but at the same time, I can also let them know if I was overwhelmed, you know. So the company mission of Microsoft is empower every person and every organization on this planet to achieve more. And if you really think about it, Microsoft has a pretty good position to accomplish this goal. With low-cost hardware and really good software, and also with so many products, you know, they really have the power to impact every person and every organization on the planet. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about the interview process, like the steps leading to the internship. My interview was around 1 to 2 years ago, so the process might have changed slightly, but probably not. For me, during the fall, Microsoft came to our job fair, and I just talked to the recruiter. He asked me some basic questions like, what's the difference between a hash map and a tree, and what's topological sort? After doing that, I passed, and he was like, okay, I think you did good. We'll send you an email so we can schedule some time so you can do the actual interview. So yeah, the next week I interviewed with them. It was only like 30 minutes long. I thought I did pretty well, and to be honest, I actually, during my interview, I peeked at his computer, and he was basically like, oh, do you want this candidate to pass? And he checked yes. So I kind of already knew, but they got back to me too late. So I interviewed in like October, and they got back to me in January, and by the time I already had my summer slot filled and my winter spot filled. So they were like, oh, no worries, we can just reach out next year. And yeah, so that's what happened. Like, I interviewed first round in 2015, and then I interviewed second round on-site 2016. So what the on-site interview was like was they flew me so I was at Google at that time. So they flew me from Mountain View to Redmond for 3 days. So over the weekend, I hiked with my friends. I just hung out with my friends. Then I did the actual interview on Monday. So for the actual day, I drove to the recruitment building, and then they shuttled me off to the building of my interviewers. And how it works is that after you pass the first round, they look at your resume, and they basically choose which team or which group that they think is a good fit for you. So you interview with them, and if you pass, then you get it. All right, yeah, and then how these interviews work is that it's just your basic 45-minute interview, and then at the end of it, your interviewer passes you off to another interviewer, and I think they also like pass feedback up. So by your last interviewer, he should already have like a clear idea whether or not you're gonna get it. And my interviewer happened to be my manager's manager, or maybe my manager's manager, and he was actually just like, oh, it seems like you're doing well, I think you're gonna get it, this is your chance to ask me any questions and get a good idea of what a Microsoft internship could be like for you. So basically, yeah, what this video series is. And yeah, so that's basically the interview process. Like, it's just on campus, then it's on site. And on campus is like 1 interview, and then on campus is like 5 interviews. So it's a pretty extensive interview process, but at the same time, I think it's totally worth it. And heck, even if you don't pass the interview, like even if you don't pass the on-site interview, Microsoft basically just expensed a whole weekend for you, you know, like a weekend vacation to Seattle. Yeah, and actually what's really interesting was, for me, on my flight back, I actually missed it. So I slept at the airport, and Microsoft expensed another ticket for me to go back. So that was pretty cool of them. Okay, so let's talk about the actual internship. I'm gonna leave like all the fun events for the next video, but I guess this section is dedicated to the logistics of the internship. So this year, Microsoft has been really nice, and they gave us free corporate housing. So you get a choice of a studio, a single, or a double. And if you have someone in mind, like another Microsoft intern, like a friend who's starting on the same day, you can request him or her to be your roommate. The sad thing though is like you can't really choose your location, so that's a bit of a gamble. Some people get freaking free breakfast every day, whereas other people, I guess, haven't been as lucky. I think I got mid-tier, which I'm happy about. So yeah, you can take corporate housing, or you can take a stipend and find your own housing. But I think I would encourage people just to take corporate housing and get a roommate so that you can meet someone new. Each intern, they get like a Orca card, which lets you have free public transportation, so like buses and the light rail or subway, whatever. There's also a Prime card that you get. Basically, it gives you a lot of really good discounts around the Seattle area, like maybe buy one get one free movie tickets, or if you've never been to the Space Needle, it's I think buy one get one free, either dinner or admission. I don't know. I didn't use it. Then for transportation, you can either choose to get a car or take a travel stipend. So the travel stipend is around $1,500, and if you choose to do the car, I think you have to pay a little, and you also have to pay the tax on it. But some people really can't live without the convenience of a car, right? Like, I chose the travel stipend, but sometimes I regret it because just being able to work by your schedule and getting to work in 10 minutes versus 40 minutes is like a pretty big deal. Aside from that, they have free gym membership, and I think all you have to do is pay the tax on the gym membership. So I don't go to the gym, but a lot of healthy people do, so I think you'll enjoy that. Alright, so that's the end of the first video. I hope that was helpful and informative. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comment section below. I also have a Facebook page that you can reach me at. But yeah, in the next video, I'm going to talk about sort of the big Microsoft internship events. Microsoft is known as having a very fun internship program, and I came in with pretty high expectations and they were either met or exceeded. So I'm really happy about that. Sorry if I was like a little bit clickbaity with the Chainsmokers clip at the beginning, but I promise you it'll show up in the next video. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hey everyone. So in the video I showed you guys the Prime card and the Orca card, right, that Microsoft gives us. Well, I ended up not taking them with me, so I didn't have a bus pass to go on. Thankfully the bus driver still let me on. But then I freaking left my wallet in the bus too. So whatever I said about cars or buses, I'd say you should strongly consider getting a car, because leaving your wallet on the bus isn't fun.